This is a theme park Thursday double down. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and we are here over on the Diols Dis YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining us here. Like and subscribe. We're here to talk about our first round picks in the Diols Dis. My favorite thing about Disney ever this year, March Madness Mania pool.
Oh, you didn't set it up.
Didn't set it up.
Yeah, that's a fail.
I was working right up until the last possible minute here and did not set up the horn. But we are here because on our Theme Park Thursday podcast episode this week, and again, debate whether this live stream is a podcast. I'll probably upload it to the feed after, whatever. We had Drew Boudreau on talking about his time on Disney Cruise Line, told a lot of stories.
Yeah.
But when I booked this guest, Jen, I was like, we'll be able to do like the picks after, like as a wraparound. We'll do picks.
Yeah.
And you knew that I was foolish to think this way.
Of course, obviously. And then we were going to record and just do it as like a little bonus episode on Thursday. And then we figured, why not just go live, hang out with our friends?
Why not? You're all here. We really appreciate it. And we have the picks that have already been submitted for the Diols Dis. My favorite thing about Disney ever this year, March Madness Mania pool. We will showcase some of those here as we talk about the first round picks. So we're just going to do we're going to try to do 30 minutes. I think that's the goal here, right? Like a 30-minute wrap of the first round in the Diols Dis. My favorite thing about Disney ever this year, March Madness Mania pool. Horn. It's amazing that I've hit it 3 times in a row because on the podcast when we record, not so much.
That usually has to be redone about 1,000 times. I would just like to apologize to those in the chat. Yes, we have been changing the office, and this actually was just happening right before coming on live. So I am in a different location now. I have these ceramic figures behind me. This way, I'm usually on that wall. Now I'm on this wall. I know I'm confusing you all.
You are against brand by offering change.
I know. I very much so. And
this is why I stick to the green screen. I can't change it. It's got to be green behind me.
Luckily, we still have a green screen, so that'll come out every once in a while. Don't you worry.
With the wood paneling as the secondary.
Yeah, exactly. I should get a wood paneling background for my green screen.
That's true.
Yeah.
That would be helpful. All right. Now, Jen and I both finally made our first round picks in the past hour or so.
Yeah.
In the last hour.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Jen, what before we get into it, what was some of your early takeaways?
I'm not happy with you. Even though we reviewed the whole thing last week, but then having to sit down and make the decision. I'll let you know when we hit some of the rough patches for me.
Yeah, you'll give me.
Because I'll still be debating. I'll probably still debate, even though I picked, but I'll probably still debate it.
Of course, the Diols Dis. My favorite thing about Disney ever this year, March Madness Mania pool horn, brought to you by Diols Dis Resort. There's the graphic there. It was behind us the whole time. Who knew? But there's Diols Dis Resort right there. Your virtual destination for exclusive Diols Dis content. DiolsDisResort.com. Patreon membership levels beginning as low as $1. All right, let's get into it. We're going to start in the upper left-hand corner with the Walter Elias bracket. I got some examples here, so excuse my Sharpie poor handwriting on the side, just so I remember who it is. Here's Theme Park Rob right here. Just to review. We got the Grim Grinning Ballroom versus the Toy Story Mania Rootin' Tootin' Shootin'. The Creative Greenhouse in the Land versus Dole Whip only in Adventureland, please. Uncle Orville in the Tub. Yeah, obviously. Uncle Orville in the Tub at the Carousel of Progress versus the Star Tours queue. Everest going backwards versus the Grand Fiesta. When you pass in the pyramid, you got the restaurant on one side, you got the pyramid on the other. That little pocket, as it were, right there. The Rise of the Resistance Hangar Bay versus the Space Mountain Lunch Soarin' over the Matterhorn versus Fire Rock Geyser over at the Wilderness Lodge. And the monorail around Epcot versus the Carousel. Just a ride on the Carousel in Fantasyland. And the test track test lap versus Humanga Cowabunga. You can see Rob's picks here: the Grinning Ballroom, Dole Whip, Uncle Orville, Everest Backwards, Rise, Hangar Bay, Soarin', Carousel, Test Track Lab. Jen, where do you want to start? You want to start right at the top?
We could just go top to bottom, I guess.
All right. Grinning Ballroom versus the Toy Story Rootin' Tootin' Shootin'. What's it going to be?
I went Ballroom.
As did I. We are in agreement. The Ballroom. All right. The Creative Greenhouse on Living with the Land versus Dole Whip in Adventureland only.
Stop it. Come on. We know my answer. There's only one answer to this question.
And that is Dole Whip in Adventureland.
Just for us, personally.
Just for us. We're not judging. No judgment. Uncle Orville in the Tub versus the Star Tours queue. Jen, what did you go with?
This was my first moment of, oh, man. And it was tougher than I thought it would be, because I love that moment, because I feel like it's just so classic, and it's a quick little one-line thing, and it's very nostalgic, and it very much feels like the ride itself. But the Star Tours queue, which we have talked about for years, that is up there with our nostalgia as well. I picked the Star Tours queue, I think, because of the amount of details there are throughout the queue. So I was like, well, I guess it has more, so I'll go with that. But it was not okay.
I also went with the Star Tours queue, which surprised me as well, because a lot of these picks, like the Backside of Water pick, things like that, I picked thinking back to like the memorabilia guides that you may have seen on What's in the Attic and things like that. Here's a cheap plug for What's in the Attic right there. Over
in the Attic.
And I was like, so Uncle Orville in the Tub reminds me of like, that's the picture you would see sometimes if they were showcasing the Carousel of Progress. So that's why I picked that over, say, John and Rover or whatever. So I assumed Uncle Orville was going to win, but then I got to it. I was like, why did I put these two against one another? It's a Star Tours queue for me as well.
Yeah, but I don't feel great about it. Yeah.
I understand. We were surprised, quite honestly. But that Star Tours queue is great. Really, just and it's nostalgic for us. It's after 5 p.m. at #always MGM in 1992 for us.
We have so many pictures of the line, people on the line. It's crazy.
Moving on, I'm going to just bring up some more picks right here. This is Nate Hardy, our friend Nate Hardy. He picked the Star Tours queue as well. And the Creative Greenhouse. The next one, he went with the Grand Fiesta Pyramid Pass, as I call it here, over Everest Backwards. I mean, I think this is, a controversial pick as well, because of the thrill of going backwards on Everest. Jen, what did you pick?
It was another one I put a little notch next to that I had to come back to. And, although I'm not a major coaster person, I always say that Everest is such a good ride. And it's good stuff, but Grand Fiesta, it gives you the feels in that spot. So that's why I had to come back to it. And hi, look who's here. Hi, guys.
Guys, we are all going good.
So I went with Everest Backwards.
Everest Backwards. Way to go. I went Grand Fiesta. I had to go with the nostalgic of Grand Fiesta. Of course, the brackets are still available. I should mention through, as long as you submit it by March 11th to be entered in the $64 Dillo's Dis. My favorite thing about Disney ever this year, March Madness Mania Pool Horn. This is Steffer's right here. Here's Steffer's bracket. Ooh. She went with Everest Backwards as well. Let's move on. She's got Space Mountain Launch over the Hangar Bay at Rise of the Resistance. Another, I think, I purposely put this one for myself to decide. Because I love the beginning. I love going up on Space Mountain. So this was another tough one for me to decide. Jen,
What did you pick?
I shocked myself and picked the Rise Hangar Bay. Because again, and it's only been one time, so walking into it was a very real thing. I think it's only going to get better, actually, over every time I go into it, seeing all the details and whatnot. So I went with the Rise Hangar Bay over the Space Mountain launch. Jen?
I went Space Mountain launch. I went Space Mountain launch.
I feel like we just flip-flopped right there.
Yes, shocking.
That's crazy. poor Lewis is he's losing friends over here.
Oh man.
Heis is reaching out to Val right there.
Dr. Val.
All right, let's close it out here. We got Soarin' over the Matterhorn versus the Geyser at the Wilderness Lodge.
I went Soarin'.
As did I. I think I was also a little surprised by this. I was like, why didn't I move the Geyser against? Why didn't I split the Rise Hangar Bay and Space Mountain launch against these two?
Yeah, so, I love how you're surprising yourself. You did all of this. You did this.
Heis, we agree.
Thank
Thanks for suggesting we give this live stream a like. Good to see you, buddy. I think you're up late also.
Yes, you need to go to sleep.
It is very late over in the Netherlands, Heis.
And we need to chat soon.
Yeah, we do. We have to come back around to you.
Yes.
I'll be in touch. The monorail. This is the one Jen's going to get really, really mad at me for. We got the monorail around Epcot versus the carousel. One ride on the carousel in the middle of Fantasyland, Jen, versus the monorail around Epcot. Let's hear it.
I literally wrote next to it, mean. This one is mean. It's just mean. All right. I love Epcot. I often say it's love
the carousel. Hello.
I often say that it's my favorite park. I also have plenty of stories from Think Place of people asking me how to get on the ride that takes you around Epcot, aka the monorail, which isn't a ride, all those things. However, the carousel, Papa Dillo nostalgia there because he is big on it. Every trip we would go on it. It's a must do. It has become a must do with my kids. So there is now double nostalgia. I went carousel.
I mean, I'm not completely, it's not a surprise. I thought you were, I would have been shocked if you didn't pick the carousel, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Good question, Jeff. How do you get on the train ride? Good question from
Jeff. So you actually, it's transportation, Jeff. So you have to exit the park and you just keep going up the ramp to the monorail. Yeah.
No, the monorail's in the park. I know it is.
Right. No, but that's part of it. And that's how it drops you off. It just loops around. So yeah.
The test track test lap versus Humunga Cowabunga. Jen has never been on Humunga Cowabunga.
Nope. So this was easy.
The test track test lap.
Correct.
For both of us there. So
wait, what did you go with monorail or carousel?
Oh, that's true. I went around with the monorail around Epcot.
Yeah. Okay.
And I probably would have gone carousel. Oh gosh, I will kick myself for this later. But I think a couple of years back when I did the monorail to Epcot, I was like, oh, I miss this so much. I love it so much going around Future World.
There's some like behind the scenes that you get to see too, and you peek behind the buildings. It's good stuff.
Here is the next. This is Jeffers bracket right here. So let's review the matchups in the Roy O bracket. It's Splash Mountain's Briar Patch versus the Dormouse popping out of the teapot. The Jungle Cruise Backside of Water versus the Seas Aquarium. It's at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. The Diamond Mine portion of that, mind you, versus the Pirates of the Caribbean Q. Tinkerbell Flying versus the Imagination Fountains, the Stretching Room versus the Navi River Shaman, the Town of Tumbleweed on Big Thunder Mountain versus the Indiana Jones Stunt Boulder, basically the opening scene there. The Views from Dumbo, we'll talk a little bit about that in a second, versus the finale of the Electrical Water Pageant and the Rock and Roller Coaster Launch versus a Sunny Eclipse over in Cosmic Rays. Jeffers here with Briar Patch, the Backside of Water, the Pirates Queue, Tinkerbell, the Stretching Room, Big Thunder Mountain, Dumbo, and the Rock and Roller Coaster Launch. Jen, let's start at the top.
We have some differences, Jeffers. Also, I'm live on TikTok. Hi, TikTok. Okay. I went Briar Patch for the first one.
Of course, Briar Patch. I mean, and again, the Splash Mountain won my poll 2 years ago as my favorite thing about Disney
Right.
for this year. But I love the Dormouse peeking. Like, I'm the one who went with this obscure choice.
Yep.
Why did I put it against like my favorite thing about Disney ever in 2019?
Correct.
Why did you? Choice. I don't know, but I also picked Splash.
What's the thinking process? Let everyone into the thinking process as you're doing this.
I wrote a list out, and then I threw them into brackets.
Right. Right.
Now, next year, there'll be a big documentary of the planning process, and you'll see my friend. I have a friend many years ago who lived here in Queens, and he would use a whole wall for the NCAA basketball tournament, and he would make it like the whole wall would be of the brackets, and he would move it. That's what I'm going to do next year. I'm going to have a whole dedicated wall to my favorite thing about Disney ever this year, March Madness Mania pool horn.
Will you just do like Post-its and be like, move this one over here? Magnets? I mean, you know, there's so many options.
Not mentioned on Theme Park Thursday this week. I sent Jen some a hotel package deal in Walt Disney World for later this year, and she is angry with me because now she has to debate her life. I was like, Jen, look at this price for these dates.
And here's the thing. Because I mean, we can say it because nothing is booked. We haven't done anything.
No.
But in our dream scenarios, you will say, I want to try to get the end of August. I have said, I want to try to hit the beginning of June because it's a 6-year-old's birthday. That would kind of be a good thing to do. So when you told me about that package, I was like, oh, what are the months involved? Oh, no, it's involved. June's involved in that. Let me price out. Oh no! No!
June was like that too.
So then I was like, "Hey, Mr. Dillo." He's like, For how many nights?
How many days in the parks?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, we're thinking about it. I mean, if you put something on the books and just keep it hopeful, right? I mean, it doesn't mean...
And literally, it was just something I did randomly yesterday because we were talking about it in the living room randomly, and I put it in, and Mrs. Dillo was like, it's going to be $5,000, $5,000, let it come up right now. And it came up half of that, and she was like, oh no, oh no. How does that TikTok sound?
Oh no. Yes. And so, yeah, it's a little rough. And I feel like I had priced out those dates individually, like just, let me look on hotels.com. Let me look on JetBlue. Let me look at this, whatever. And then as I was like doing it this way, I'm like, oh, this seems better than what I was seeing.
I mean, I guess it's like we're not, you know, you're not going to take it away from us or anything, Jeffers. So I guess we can say what it was. But it's the, you know, you get
it's a deal available for everyone. It's not exclusive to Diols Dis. Anyone can get it.
You do the 4 nights. You get the extra day on each side of the trip or whatever. You get the 2 extra days in the park. That's the deal that they're offering on, you know, in the commercials and everything else or whatever. So you get the 2 extra days in the parks with your 4-night stay. So in pop for that duration, it was with the park tickets, it was somewhere in the $2,200 to $2,500 range. Right. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's me family. 3. That's me.
I got 1. The same range. I got the same range with all 4 of us. So.
Okay. There you go. Steffers, we featured your bracket already. It's okay to be late. Welcome to the chat.
Welcome. We popped up we saw some of your picks, Steffers. We showed them to the family.
All right, so we both picked Splash Mountain. Up next,
we changed it.
The backside of water versus the Seas Aquarium. I will say the Seas Aquarium got a lot of love in the picks that we have seen so far. Yeah,
I went Seas.
I did as well, and both the Seas. Well, I should say I have a special love for the Seas in general. Even with ever since the Nemo turnover, I don't mind the IPs. Love Turtle Talk. Obviously love Sea Base Alpha, as I still call it. So, but that increased more with the 5-year-old's love of the aquarium. But Jungle Cruise has gotten love over the years. So over the last couple of years, I should say. But I went to Seas Aquarium as well.
Yep.
The Diamond Mine and the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train versus the Pirates of the Caribbean Q. What do you got?
I'm just showing that we're travel agents now. Diols Dis Travel Agency coming to.
We're just here to share the good word because we're not DVC people. Like when we see something, we're like, oh my God, it looks like a good price on a Disney resort.
Right. Okay. So next up, I went Pirates Q.
the Pirates queue, as did I. I went with the Pirates queue. It immerses yourself all the way down to the ride. I agree. And it's only been one ride on me for the Mine Train. So maybe that gets better over time as well. We'll see what the 5-year-old loves in her thrill rides.
True.
Tinkerbell flying over the castle versus the Imagination Fountain. I presume this is what Jen will hate me for in this bracket. This is Lee Taylor's bracket right here that we're putting up on the YouTube right now. So he has Tinks flying across the, flying out of the castle there over the Imagination Fountain. What do you think, Jen?
I couldn't go against the essential fountains in Epcot. I couldn't go against that. So that's my pick.
Yeah, as did I. If it was Wishes instead of Happily Ever After and Tinkerbell was flying, where would you sit with that?
No, I think I would still have to go the fountains because we've made such a case that they're so essential. What am I going to go against them?
Yeah, he would have caught heat.
I think I could. Yeah, exactly. I can't.
The stretching room of the Haunted Mansion. This is my first upset right here. And versus stretching room versus the Navi River Shaman. I went with the Navi River Shaman because I really, really love the animatronic. The more I thought about it over the week, I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick the ballroom in the other bracket. I'm going to give the Shaman a win here.
Intriguing. I went stretching room.
Went with the stretching room.
Yeah.
Big Thunder Mountain, the town of Tumbleweed, over the Indiana Jones stunt boulder. What's it going to be?
This was tougher for me than I thought it would be. But I can't get the image of like going through the queue of Thunder Mountain, maybe at night, getting those views, getting those sounds. I can't escape that. So I went with Big Thunder Mountain. So
you went with Big Thunder Mountain and going, like, basically if you're riding the ride at night, that is what you're choosing here. Like, I didn't specify day or night. So if you're picturing night in your mind, that's going to give it the extra.
Yeah, but even like on the queue as you're looking out and you're, it's all of that.
I did as well. I initially marked Indiana Jones because I was having some nostalgia watching Last Crusade last week. Anytime Last Crusade is on, I watch, which that ties in, they opened. Last Crusade came out in '89, same summer that MGM opened. So there's those two connect to me more than even Raiders, even though all those scenes are from Raiders of the Lost Ark. But just having its 40th anniversary this year, which will be a Forever 44 Fedora Club meeting for us later this year, most likely. So get excited for that. And then, but in the end, the Big Thunder Mountain, and I think the nighttime does. It gives it the extra. The extra oomph.
Totally.
Over it. And then we got the views from Dumbo versus the finale of the electrical water pageant. And our friend Nate Hardy, he was being a little funny. About that he thought it was a weird cast member thing, the views from Dumbo. And listen, have you been on Dumbo? Have you looked around as soon as you press the thing or whatever you got to do to go up in the air? Have you just looked around?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's not the same as it was from the original location. We understand.
Right.
But it's still, as soon as you lift.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
What did you pick?
The pageant.
Yeah, as did I. I was against the electrical water pageant. No way. And then here's Jen's. Let's see if we got a 116 upset here. We got the Rock and Roller Coaster launch versus, this is a 215. I'm sorry, versus Sunny Eclipse. It's the 2 seed, the Rock and Roller Coaster launch versus number 15, Sunny Eclipse over in Cosmic Rays. Jen?
So this was as easy for me as the second matchup, the 5 seed versus 12. What am I supposed to say? 5 versus. Anyway, it was as easy for me as the Dole Whip one because I hate the Rock and Roller Coaster launch. I hate it. I regret it as soon as it's about to happen. I hate that I'm sitting in the seat and it's gonna go. So Sunny Eclipse won that one for me.
I went with the coaster launch. I'm not as nostalgic for Sunny. Mr. Snidillo obviously loves Sunny more than anything, so I understand that. Here's our good friend Landon's picks. Follow him on Twitter at LANDOZ. Please go follow him. Landon Dawes, he's the best. Landon Dawes, not the rest. The Briar Patch, he's got the Backside of Water. He's got the Pirates Queue. He's got the Imagination Fountains. He's got the Stretching Room. He's got Indy. He's got the Water Pageant Over here, this is our friend Adam at the Mouse and More. We're waiting for Adam.
Adam, are you here?
I don't know. The Dormouse Teapot over the Splash Briar Patch. The aquarium, a lot of love for the aquarium, as I said. The Pirate's Cue, Tinkerbell Flies. Adam was very rough. He had a hard time with the choices, and I understand. The Stretching Room, the Indie Boulder, the Electrical Water Pageant, and Sunny Eclipse for Adam as well. Is Adam not a big thrill ride guy? It doesn't seem that way from that bracket. I feel like that's new information for me.
I mean, I will say you could have put anything up against that Rock and Roller Coaster launch, and I would have picked it.
All right, let's move on to the Eisner bracket. The Eisner bracket. Let's pull up this bracket first here. And this is Skipper Bob right here. Skipper Bob's bracket. We got the Tower of Terror versus a Friendship boat ride. We got the monorail through the Contemporary Resort versus entering the Millennium Falcon's cockpit. The San Sana bread service versus the Small World finale room. The Spaceship Earth Planetarium versus Wheezy Singing after the Slinky Dog Dash. Peter Pan's Flight over London versus Drinks at Oga's. The Carno attacking on Dinosaur versus A Blustery Day in the 100-Acre Wood on Winnie the Pooh's Adventures. We got Daisy's. Oh, nope. I skipped one. Did I skip one? Nope. I got Flight Across Pandora versus Daisy's Runaway Dancing and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And the Muppet Vision finale, the Salute to All Nations, but mostly America, versus the Astro Orbiter Views. Skipper Bob has got the Tower of Terror, the Falcon, the Bread Service, Spaceship Earth, Peter Pan, Dinosaur, Daisy, and Muppet Vision. Jen, let's start at the top. Tower of Terror versus a Friendship boat ride. I'm curious for you on this one.
Right, because I'm okay with Tower of Terror.
No, I know, but still, I know, the Friendship boat ride is a, nostalgic thing.
So yeah, I mean, it's a good matchup, but I went Friendship boat ride.
Oh my gosh. That's shocking. I went Tower of Terror there. The monorail through the Contemporary Resort versus entering the Millennium Falcon cockpit. What do you got?
I mean, I'm interested for your pick on this one, but I went monorail through the Contemporary.
I went back and forth a little bit, but that first time walking into the Falcon cockpit, I mean, I waited 2.5 years for that. So, and it hit on all cylinders. Can't take that away from me. No way. The Sanaa bread service versus the Small World Heaven room, as Jen learned for the first time.
Speaking of, oh no, I went with the Sanaa bread service after that discussion. So that's my pick.
I went with the Small World finale room. The Spaceship Earth Planetarium, that is when you get to the top of the geodesic dome. Is that how you say it? I don't know. Versus Wheezy Singing at the end of Slinky Dog Dash. I
went Spaceship Earth for this one.
So Lewis and Val sent in their brackets. Make sure you check out their YouTube series, Figments in Time, and follow them on Twitter at Disney Pick a Day and at Val Pal Mickey. This is Lewis's here. They slugged it out apparently over the Friendship boat ride and the Tower of Terror. Lewis went with the Friendship boat ride. Val was with the Tower of Terror drops.
Interesting.
Let's go. You picked Spaceship Earth, yes?
Yeah. What'd you pick?
As did I. Spaceship Earth. Peter Pan, Flight over London versus Drinks at Oga's.
I do agree that what do I say? The
what? What are you doing there? What's that?
In Oga's, if we had sat in a
booth,
why? Like literally was not coming to my head. I'm like a balcony in a booth. Perhaps I would feel differently. However, I went with the nostalgia of Peter Pan's Flight over London.
As we talked about on the Parks and Monorail's Most Magical Hour, if you want to see the morning monorails picks, both Justin and Sam's, check out the live stream over there. But I feel the same. I feel like Oga's is going to get there for me eventually. It's not there yet. And I think the booth is the key to all of that. So I picked Peter Pan as well.
Yeah.
The Dino Attack in Dinosaur versus A Blustery Day in the 100-Acre Wood.
I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little about this one. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I went with A Blustery Day.
As did I. What do you, is Winnie the Pooh a little for you
Yeah,
in general?
yeah,
Is Winnie the Pooh for you in general because it used to be Mr. Toad, or do you just think the attraction doesn't hit as well as it could?
both.
Yeah. It's a
I
little,
feel
but
like
it's a little bit of Mr. Toad.
yeah, but it is just missing something for me. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
it's not even something I think if I pass by it, like even having been with the kids, if I pass by it, I'm not like, oh man, I forgot about that. I gotta go on that ride. I don't know.
Lewis making a case here for the friendship boats. It's such a great
Mhm.
experience. No disagreement there, but it was against
Yeah.
the Tower of Terror drops, and for that I apologize. That's on me. I did this. Hashtag
Hashtag
blame
blame
Frank.
Frank.
That's right.
Mhm.
And also Lewis adds, as a huge Winnie the Pooh fan, the
Right.
ride stinks.
I love Winnie the Pooh. That's the thing too. I think that's it too, is that he's so classic and you
Mm.
want a lot from him. And there's how many quotes are there of Winnie the Pooh? I mean, there's just so much that they could have done, and it just something doesn't connect.
Yeah, in August of 2018, when we took the then 2.5-year-old, and so we went on Winnie the Pooh for the first time. We had been on like a Winnie the Pooh cartoon kick. The Piglet movie, I think, was it the Piglet movie? I think was on all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is when I change over for this
Mhm.
ride.
Yeah.
She's gonna love it. I don't think it didn't click for her, and it certainly didn't click for me that time. I was like, oh, okay, so it's the ride. It's not
Right.
Mr. Toad anymore. It's about that this ride doesn't click the same way. I'm still gonna go on it, but I'm hoping for the best someday.
Sure.
Here's two we haven't been on. What did you pick? I guess it really boils down to the flight over Pandora versus Daisy's runaway dancing. I'm guessing you picked Pandora because you're just so angry about the Great Movie Ride.
No,
Oh.
because here's the thing. I am sure the answer would be Pandora. I'm sure that's what it's going to be because from everything I hear and what, I'm sure it's going to be amazing. However, I did go with Daisy because we haven't been on either of them. I was kind of like, but you know what? At least I'm in that building. So I'm going to go with that. So that's where
I picked Daisy as well. I mean, I'm looking forward to going on Flight of Passage. I can't believe it's been over 3 years and I still haven't been on it. That's not driving me crazy at all. It totally is. But there's something about the idea of that scene. Every time I see somebody post a video about it, that I'm like, I really can't wait to experience that part of the ride.
Yes.
So for sure. That's where I am right now. And is it a no-brainer here, Muppet Vision? A salute to all nations, but mostly America.
Yes, I've been on Astro Orbiter once.
Same.
Sure, views are great, and I love views, but no, it's hashtag save the Muppets. Come on.
Yeah, Lewis is like, oh man, you haven't done Pandora. Wow. We walked through Pandora. We did the river journey, but that trip that we went, where we had annuals, so we could have we went to Animal Kingdom multiple times.
Yes.
Between the 4-hour wait, no fast passes, and the ride being broken half of the time we were there. Kind of squashed it for us. And then one other time we tried for it and the wait did not match our timing. For how long? Because we wanted to go to Food and Wine. We split the day between Animal Kingdom and Epcot, you and I. And so that was really the two biggest opportunities to go. And it didn't work out, both of those.
Yeah, because we were there twice in 1 week in 2018 when the whole Dillo clan went together. And we were really hoping to hit it at least one of those days, and we could not. So
it did not work out on any level. It didn't work out like anything. Like there was just
and we've been since separately multiple times. Like we've been together, we've been separate, and we still haven't been able to do it. So
All right, so the final bracket, it's the Iger bracket here. We're only 4 minutes over so far, so we're doing well. So let's bring it up here, courtesy of our friend Dr. Jacqueline, Pixie Dust PhD, who's doing a lot better today. Later in the day here today. So well wishes to her. We got the People Mover In and Out of Space Mountain versus the Caves of Tom Sawyer's Island. Trader Sam's Disturbing the Tiki Gods versus the Thunder Mountain Queue. Elsa Sending Your Boat Backwards versus a Beaches and Cream, ordering dessert at Beaches and Cream in the Tiki Room versus the Kali River Rapid 30-foot slide. The Safari through Harambe's Reserve versus Summit Plummet. And the Tree of Life photo op versus a sing-along at Jelly Rolls. The Mission Space Takeoff versus Anytime Figment Appears Throughout the Imagination Ride. And the Pirates Raiding Town Square versus Inhaling the delightful Tomorrowland Speedway fumes. We're closing it out purposefully, I feel like, now for that one. Let's just see what Dr. Jacqueline had. Make sure you subscribe to her on YouTube at Pixie Dust PhD. The People Mover, Trader Sam's, Elsa, the Tiki Room, the Safari, the Tree of Life Photo Op, Mission Space, and Pirates. Let's go, Jen. People Mover versus the Caves of Tom Sawyer's Island.
Come on. People Mover. Come on.
I mean, I think it's going to be an upset if People Mover loses in Jen's bracket here at all at any point. I should have mapped that out of where it could possibly lose.
I have not, so you never know.
Should have pre-planned that. Yeah. I went with People Mover as well. Trader Sam's versus the Thunder Mountain Q. You talked about the Thunder Mountain Q earlier.
I did go. I have a little notch next to this one too because this was difficult for me. But I did go with Thunder Mountain Q.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting. I went with Trader Sam's. But I debated it as well. I kind of did that choice on instinct. So I think there was a whole Polynesian experience that went in my head with that. So let's go Elsa versus a Beaches and Cream dessert.
Beaches
for sure. Yeah. In the Tiki Room versus the Cali. Have you been on Cali River Rapids?
Yeah, I don't remember when, but yeah.
I went with the Tiki Room. What did you go?
Tiki.
It is the Safari versus a little thing we like to call Summit Plummet. I picked Summit Plummet. You have not been on Summit Plummet.
Yeah. No, it's still a Safari for me.
The Tree of Life, Animal Kingdom got a lot of love here, but did not in this bracket. But shockingly, I did not pick anything here. I did pick the Navi River Shaman. That's my one. Tree of Life Photo Op versus Jelly Roll Sing Along. Listen, Jelly Roll Sing Along. Am I right? Yes. Totally. I'm singing along with Scotty Kilwine on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, half of the time over on his Facebook page, facebook.com/Piano Scotty. The Mission Space Takeoff versus Anytime Figment Appears. Very specific on purpose. You picked Figment. I picked the Mission Space Takeoff. I can't. I love Figment. I cannot. I'm like, no, this isn't my Figment. This isn't my Figment.
But it's Figment.
I'm angry. I went with the Mission Space Takeoff. I still enjoy it when Mrs. Dillo forces me to go on the attraction.
When I'm forced to go on, I love it. I'll pick it. It's fine.
And finally, the Pirates, the classic attraction, Pirates of the Caribbean. When the Pirates raid Town Square, one of the ultimate scenes in all of Disney attractions, completely diagonal right now with the grim grinning ghost ballroom haunted mansion scene. We're talking iconic scenes here. I've pitted that Pirates raiding Town Square against inhaling the Speedway fumes. Jen, what did you pick?
You know my answer.
I picked the Pirates raid Town Square. Jen, what did you pick?
Inhaling the fumes. Obviously.
Jeff, not my Figment, coming soon to T Public. I mean, we'll talk about designs of that one. I'll give you a shout out for that one right there.
Yeah, so if I can just build on this fumes thing, because I think we start talking about it on Parks and Monorails on Tuesday?
Yes, because Justin took you to task for both of us, I guess, for even putting it on the list.
Yes. So, well, you put it on the list.
Because I knew you'd pick it.
Right. So currently there is now a 19, what year? 30, 29? I don't know. Double Model A pickup truck in my garage, which arrived yesterday, and the smells coming from it.
Oh, have you started it and you can smell it?
There's some good smells. Yeah, those are good smells. So I'm pretty excited about my garage right now.
Your garage smells like the Tomorrowland Speedway right now?
A little bit. Oh, not all day, every day, but a little bit. I'll take what I can get.
I have a question because you have a hill that goes up your driveway there. How did it back in?
Oh no. So there's.
I'm gonna hold it up right there. I'm gonna hold it up.
Yeah. So there's kind of a longer story to it because it came off. It was, on the bed of a truck coming here. So once Mr. Snidillo backed it off of the truck onto the street, and then the truck drove away, and then Mr. Snidillo went to start it up to try to get it into the driveway, and it wouldn't start.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, so it took a few tries and some extra gas and some finagling, but he got it. He angled it and he got it up the driveway and then kind of repositioned and then got it into the garage. And I'm shocked by it and terrified.
No backup camera on that car?
Yeah, no mirrors, really. I mean, there's side mirrors, but that's it. And then I got the kids' bikes were behind the truck. So I took those out today. So he moved the truck out again. But he said after we left, he had some trouble. It was starting to roll down the driveway. So yeah, there is a picture of I'm going to say bye to TikTok. Bye, TikTok. And so people can see my actual driveway as well.
All right. Well, yeah, the driveway is part of the scenario here for those watching on our YouTube channel. In the meantime, don't forget Theme Park Thursday with Diols Dis this week. We're talking to Drew Boudreau about Disney Cruise Line. He has a lot of stories about me as his teacher. Jen, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know if you guys can see.
Oh, there it is. There it is. It's backing up here for those of you who might be listening to an audio.
Yeah. Probably hard to see.
I mean, that is a tight fit into your garage. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's kind of
if Kia doesn't want to sponsor us, and you've seen Kia on the Instagram and on Twitter, we're trying to get Kia to sponsor us since we both drive Sorrentos. That car will become the official car of Diols Dis. Look forward to that, everybody. Jen, as a gearhead with a driveway with a hill, is changing what I think her life is like. Her life.
Now here's the thing, and yes, Mr. Snidillo does really love cars. This car is not ours. It is Papa Dillo's. Papa Dillo they don't have room for it at that house currently. So it is just temporarily housed here in our garage because we only have one car. So but it won't always live with us since it's not ours.
That's really funny. Jay doesn't really love cars. So that is our picks for the first round. Of course, if you're watching for the first time, the brackets are available all this week. Email us at dilosdis@gmail.com. Get your picks in by a week from today, March 11th, 2021. For Dillo's Madness, there it is. The madness. Yeah, the madness. And then we'll be back on Tuesday for the Parks and Monorail's most magical hour with the morning monorail crew. I think Jen, Dillo's Madness t-shirt on TeePublic right there. Jen, are we planning a What's in the Attic for next week? Because we might be in the attic this weekend. Is that correct?
Are we going to be in the attic this weekend?
I heard rumors that we could be in the attic this weekend.
I did not hear those rumors, so
you know more than I do.
But we can figure something out for What's in the Attic. We always do, and we have plenty around our own homes as well. So
we'll do a sibling reunion with Angela Dahlgren later this month when she comes back from Universal Studios.
That's right.
Over on Angela's YouTube channel yesterday, the Magical Mommy Monday duo got together for the first episode of The Gray Area, where they're going to review Grey's Anatomy. Jen watched the pilot episode for the first time this past week.
That's right. And the next episode, we'll be discussing episodes 2 through 5, if you'd like to watch along with us. So when you tune in next week, we can all chat about it. And shame on us, because we did not give you credit for giving us the name, The Gray Area.
Yeah. It's recorded for all time over on our previous sibling reunion show.
That's true. I wasn't sure if it was after we recorded or not. I wasn't sure if it actually got recorded, but
it's all good. And so that is what's going on. Of course, DilosDisResort.com, your virtual destination for exclusive Diols Dis content. All right there. We're doing new stuff all the time. I have things in my head and ideas. We're Drew, who is on this week, we did extra bonus footage with him, so that'll be the behind the scenes.
That'll probably go up this week. weekend.
Yeah, that might go up this weekend. That we talked a lot there. I'm like, do we have to condense? Do we have to come like?
I know.
We chatted a lot, which is why we're doing this pick show right here for you tonight. Thanks for joining us. Like the live stream, as Heis said, and we'll be back again Sunday. Maybe we'll do second round picks next week. Who can really say? We'll see how it goes. Until that time, she's Jen, and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces.